Well, today I'm going to get a chance to finish a Mish-Mash video I've been collecting on my computer over a period of time, a few months actually. And, what I do now is I collect them and then I kind of stitch them all together and put together a Mish-Mash video. I have so many other things going on, that's about the only way I can do it. Well, hello there. It is time for another Mish-Mash video. For those of you who follow my videos, I do two kinds of videos. Car videos and radios, combination type of thing. And the other is Mish-Mash. Whatever I happen to think of winds up in the video. It's sort of like a video stew, okay? Well, today, speaking of stew, which means food, we are going to cook these hamburgers. Well, what's so significant about a couple of hamburgers being cooked? Well, I'll tell you, it was provided. These were provided by one of our good subscribers, an anonymous person. I gave him a shout out a while back, if you remember. The shout out said for Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous. This is a Omaha steak box that was sent to us, and I said that I would show me cooking it when we first popped open the old box. We had already separated them. We got them frozen in the back, the steaks and the hamburgers. The wifey said, let's have some of these hamburgers tonight. And I also said that I would, sort of, make it, kind of dribble it out so I don't cook them all at once, So, here we go. I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember right, the initials of the person who sent it was RK or BK. I can't remember now. It's been a while. So, this is it. The first cooking out of the Omaha steak box, my friend. Wifey also said she wanted some of the Rally's famous seasoned fries, and they are really, really good. We always get them at Walmart in the frozen food section. They are so delicious. So we got them in our little fry daddy, just frying up, having a good old time. We fry in oil. Old 64 Go, you can close your eyes. You don't have to look. Yeah, we're looking better by the second here. Looking real good. What I like to do when I cook hamburgers, I like to take some of this Badia Holy Smokes pork and meat rub, put it on as a seasoning. Just because it says rub, you don't have to rub it all the time. You can just sprinkle it on there. Just don't go crazy with it. Well, you can go crazy if you want. It's your meat. You cook it with as much seasoning as you like. I happen to like a lot of seasoning. And sometimes the wife says I go overboard. Well, maybe so. There's wifey getting her share of the seasoned fries. You like those, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yep. Old 64 Goat, he doesn't like them either. You know what he needs? Old 64 Goat needs to come down here and let me make him a big, giant stack of sardine pancakes. Yeah. They're pretty good, aren't they, honey?
They're great.
They're great. Yes, they are. You want some?
No, thank you.
No? But you're no fun. Everybody likes sardine pancakes. Well, that's the last bit of it. Wifey's already got hers out of the pan. Mine's, by the way, I'm cooking in a little bit of vegetable oil and some extra virgin olive oil. So, no lard today. Can't wait to bite into that, boy. Looks really good. Today we're going to start off with three things. What's in this box here? These two model Thunderbirds and this can of blue paint. The first thing is this box, like I said, and it contains a bunch of tubes in it. Some 12 AT7s, 12 AU7s, and some 12 AV7s. And they've been sitting around the shop for months. I forgot all about them. Right after I received this from our good subscriber, AM station engineer Tim, up in Pennsylvania. Right after I received this, the wifey got sick. I got distracted. I apparently set them over here in the corner. Things got in front of it, in the box. Forgot all about it. Forgot all about it. And now that I look back, I feel real bad about it. Now, of course, old Tim, he finally contacted me. He said, did you ever receive the stuff I sent you? And I said, oh, yeah, man, that's right, he did. I said, oh, I feel terrible. Well, he said he had a fella that lived down here in Arkansas that traveled between Pennsylvania in Arkansas. This guy would go all the way up, I think he said it was up around Hershey, Pennsylvania, to do his job. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. You go back and forth between Arkansas and Pennsylvania? He showed up at the McDonald's down here. Tim told me he was going to drop it off. And when he showed up at McDonald's in town, I said, well, have him call me from there. And he did. I went down there at like 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, something like that. And here was this really good guy standing there with this package in his hand. And I'm like, I got talking to him, you know. I didn't know he was on his way to Pennsylvania. I knew he was on his way somewhere to go to work or heading back, you know, to go visit Tim or something. I didn't know he worked up there. He said, yeah, I think he told me he works heavy equipment or something. And he drives all the way up to Pennsylvania. I said, what? He said, yeah. And this was 8 o'clock at night. I said, well, this was on I think it was Saturday night. I said, well, when do you have to be to work in Pennsylvania? He said, Monday morning. I said, Monday morning and Saturday night at 8 o'clock, you going to make it? He said, oh, yeah. Yeah, I do it a lot. Man alive. I said, are you going to sleep at all? I mean, you just drive all the way through? Well, anyway, he handed me the box that Tim had given him, and it had these tubes in it. And it also had a bunch of different tea. Tim is a very knowledgeable guy. He knows about all kinds of stuff. I've never seen a guy that knows as much about foods and beverages and just all kinds of stuff. Here's a Taiwan food, Alishan High Mountain Oolong Whole Leaf Tea. And then here's some right here. Is Indian tea, loose granules, Asham Masala Indian tea. It says must be strained after steeping. There's that one there. And here's one here, hand blended pulled tea. It says Ma Pates Chai Tea Spice. Use only with Assam or Earl Grey. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to figure it out. That's what he sent me. It was real nice of Tim to do that. It was real bad of me to forget that I had it. And when I wrote back and I said, man, I feel bad. I was just terrible. He said, look, you had a lot going on at that time. Yeah, it's a wonder you even remembered me, you know, I guess. Well, what we're going to do is because old Tim had to wait so long to get acknowledgement from John from Arkansas about what he did as a very nice gesture, that boy's going to get something I've never given anywhere else, anyone else. It was a long wait, and he was very patient through the whole thing. That boy, Tim, AM station engineer up in Pennsylvania, he's going to get a double shout out. Another subject, for those of you who watch our videos, you know that our youngest grandson is a big-time karate kid, does a lot of karate. He's a teacher and a world champion and all this stuff. But his big thing in life is he wants to be an MMA fighter. I covered that in a video a while back. And he's on the Taekwondo Team USA sparring team. It's Team USA. He's a member of that team. They have 6 guys and 4 girls, and they travel around. Well, one of the places he had to go not too long ago was Freehold, New Jersey. He went up there for a sparring training, I think it was. Some pretty heavy training, and they sparred some other guys or something. Anyways, they had to fly up there. He and his mother went, and I said, hey, that's great. You know, while you're there, go up to Philadelphia and check out the Independence Hall. This is a great opportunity for you, great history, you know, and check out the Liberty Bell. So he and his mother, they did. They after the sparring business was over, they spent the whole weekend there, 2-3 days. They went on up to Philadelphia, and they stopped in to see Independence Hall. And they stopped in to see the Liberty Bell. But, you know, that wasn't John's big draw in Philadelphia. No, you know, the Liberty Bell to him was okay. You know, Independence Hall was good to know stuff. But, you know, his big draw, I mean, he could not wait to see this. First he had to look at a certain pair of footprints in the concrete. Then his next stop was where he really wanted to go see. I've been told that dogs don't sleep on their backs. Now you just check out old Dee Dee here. Look at that. Isn't she terrible? Let me go over here and sit down next to her. We'll see if she go to lay there. Look at me, huh? Look at this. I'm gonna rub her belly. I should rub her belly. Hey, what's she doing? Hey, she's a sweetheart. Look at her. Whoa, man. She likes living here. We have a happy birthday cake. Happy birthday to Shannon, our daughter. And she doesn't like disclosing her age. So there is a big 0 there for her to blow up. A big 0. You prefer a 0 than your actual age?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll all sing happy birthday to Shannon. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shannon.
Mom.
Happy birthday to you and many more. But not too many.
Not too many, right?
Okay, what is your wish? Let me shut out the light here. Let me turn off the light. Go ahead. All right.
That was so hard.
I know, I tell you.
God, I gotta quit smoking.
Every single time.
Well, here we go with Evan Lee Daves Jr., just born yesterday, with his great-great-grandma, our great-grandson. They brought him over to say hi to us. And there is Alyssa, the proud mama. Okay, so we're ready to go for number 2, right? No?
You'll be lucky if you get another one.
Be lucky. Yeah, I'll bet you have 5 or 6, 7, 8. Come on,
Evan
man.
wants the Brady Bunch.
He wants the Brady Bunch? What do you think? What do you think, great-great-grandma? Ain't they sweet? He's a sweetheart. Evan Jr. Okay, here we have Waylon. Waylon, what's his middle name again? Huh? Waylon Scott. Daves, yeah. I kind of think his name is Optimus, but that's okay. And he is with his great-grandma, who's having some sickly problems right now. And she was enticing him with a lollipop. Hey, what are you doing with the baby's lollipop?
I'll be right back.
Hey, what are you doing with the baby's lollipop?
I stole his lollipop.
You stole his lollipop? She's having some bad health problems right now, but we're going to get her through it. We're almost through it now already. She's come a long way, hasn't she, Heather? Isn't this incredible? The other day she looked like she, that was it. Now she's sitting there stealing babies' lollipops.
You are Drew.
Let's talk about inverters for a minute. This is the Ames power inverter that I bought that I'll be putting in the van. It's a 600 continuous with a 1200 watt surge. And it's a pure sine wave inverter, meaning that the output, which is over here, which will come out of these plugs, will be a sine wave instead of a square wave or anything different. You have here your on-off switch, your 2 plugs, 120 volts will come out of there, and they even give you a little USB connector there to plug your cell phone in, which is pretty cool. Now take a look at the other end. Now this thing is rated for 40 amps, and it has 2 40 amp fuses here and here. I guess I got to take those screws out to check them. I'm not sure how that comes out. I'll have to worry about it later. But this is where your battery hooks up. This is your fan that comes on once you exceed 100 watts of load. The fan will come on and start cooling this baby down. Then of course you've got a little ground here where you can ground the case. And that's about it. There's really not much to it. You take these little cables here that came with it. They're about 2 feet long, I guess. Look like they're about 2 feet long. You know, and this got a little pair of just like a standard jumper cable type setup. Not all expensive. The other end looks like this. And of course they would hook to here and here. And this end would hook to your battery. Now, And we're going to come up with a different thing. And now, I don't know, you know, this is 40-watt fuses, and that seems to be awfully thin wire for 40 amp fuses, I'm sorry. And this thing here seems to be awfully thin to handle 40 amps. If it's maxed out, I don't know. But I think we're going to go with something a little thicker, like a good set of really sturdy battery cables. Remove the ends off one end. And I don't want this thing to screw up the electrical system on our van. If that's the case, then I'd have to take it down and trade the van in. Have it towed down and trade the van in. So anyway, that's what we have right there. Let me see if there's anything else I want to cover in this manual. It's just going to convert 12 volts DC to 100 volts, 120 volts AC. So I can plug the wife's oxygen machine into it, or anything else. You know, it could be used with a standalone battery. You go camping somewhere, you got a fully charged battery. You hook this baby up, and you got a couple of outlets on the other end there where you can hook a lamp. I don't know, whatever you want to hook up. Just whatever, you know. You got 2 plugs. I imagine you could even use an extension cord with a couple of additional plugs if you wanted. As long as you don't exceed the wattage rating of it, I don't see the problem. Like I said, there's an over voltage and under voltage deal on it. If it goes below 10 or above 16 volts, we're talking about input, then it will shut down an alarm, okay? So when it goes like below 10 volts, that means your battery needs charging if you're using it as a standalone item with a battery. And the fan will work at 100 volts. It's got those 240 amp fuses, and that's it. It's made by Ames. I think I can't remember what I paid for it. Seems to me it was, I don't know, $129 or something like that. Can't remember. Anyway, whatever it was, we needed it. I wanted it. We have it. And, you know, if there ever comes a time we don't need it anymore, I can go ahead and still use it. If I decide to go out and camp around or something, go fishing, I can just take a battery with me, and there we go. We got a light. Or electrical razor. Okay, that's it for this. You'll see further updates on this. Well, today is Wifey's birthday. She has reached a major milestone. You're 29 years old today, aren't you, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time you saw an age like that?
Last year.
Last year, okay. So I'm going to fix her something special that she had asked for, that's been supplied by one of our good subscribers. Our anonymous Omaha steak provider. That was really, I'm telling you, we have really been, just being real stingy with these things. But she said, I'd like to have one of those Omaha filet mignon steaks. I said, well, I can do that. I'll fry it on up there, but this time we're not going to fry it out in the electric. It's too cold to go outside and grill it. But we can do it over gas using my little stove here. But we're going to go ahead and sear it in there. We're going to cook it in a cast iron skillet. We're going to sear it. We're going to go ahead and put some of this, we're going to put salt and pepper on it first, and then we're going to put some Holy Smokes pork and meat rub on both sides. We're going to pat it all in and everything. We're going to put vegetable oil in the bottom, and when it gets really, really hot, then we'll go ahead and take our steak and set it in the grease and or the oil and cover it up. We'll sear one side really good, then flip it over and sear the other side, and then slow cook it the rest of the way. And I think it's going to turn out really nice. In addition to this, we're going to have baked potato and a salad. That's all she wants. All right, it's her birthday. That's what we're going to do. All right, one side of the seasoning has been put on. A little salt, a little pepper. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, I think that old oil is plenty hot enough. It's smoking a little bit. And we put that old steak in there. She's going to start searing up on one side. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, that's what you want. That's what you want to hear. Just be careful. Put the lid on it. Got a little bit of spillage here. Don't want that to get down there where the fire's at. Take it easy. Take it easy. Be careful. Matter of fact, I think I'll crank the fire down just a little bit until I get it all cleaned up. Yeah. Then we'll take it back up. Alright. One side has been seared already. Doesn't that look good? Ooh, I just flipped it over. We'll let the other side sear just a little bit longer. Alright, I've got the fire cranked down really, really low now. And now comes the next step. We add a little butter to this. Yes, we are. A little bit of butter. And some garlic. Gotta have garlic. Alright, she's looking real good. We're going to spoon this stuff over the top while we're cooking it slow, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. Want to have equal access to our garlic and our butter and our oil. Ugh, man, I'm telling you, it just doesn't get any better than that, along with that seasoning. Good. Well, we're doing good. Wifey and I both like our steaks to be well done, and we don't like that rare stuff or medium rare and all that stuff like some people do. My dad used to make me eat rare steaks. He was a big rare steak eater, and he used to say, "You eat that stuff, you eat it, man. You know, someday you wish you had some steak that was rare." Okay, but yeah, I used to have to choke that stuff down even as a small kid. I couldn't stand it. But now that I'm a big kid, I can cook them all the way through. So let's take a look and see how we're doing in the middle. I don't mind a tiny bit of pink, but that's about as far as it goes. Well, still a little bit too pink in the center. More red than pink, actually. We're just going to let it simmer there. I turned the fire up just a touch. I just like them cooked. You know, it's like my daughter says, whenever I cook bacon, she wants it so crisp it looks like it's black. She says, "I want my pig dead." Well, I want my cow dead. Well, wifey's already carried in her salad. I'll go ahead and give her steak and baked potato with butter and sour cream. That's all she wants on it. There you go. How's your salad doing? Pretty good? Alright. And of course we always have our proverbial friends that show up. Ooh, it must be time to eat, huh? Is it good? Yeah. There's going to be a little piece of steak in there for them to eat too. And there's Rocky. Rocky says, "Oh, I smell that meat." Buddy, he's something else. Dee Dee, what are you doing, baby? You looking for handouts? Now, wifey, she likes her steak pure, you know, just nothing on top of it. Once it's cooked, that's it. Me, I like a little bit of A1 sauce, you know, thick and hearty on the side that I can like dip it in. So let's give it a taste. Oh man, tender, delicious. Hoo hoo hoo. Well, once again, we are beholden to our anonymous Omaha steak provider. Thank you very much. Made the whole day. Man, we're going to try another piece of that. Boy, that's good. Look how tender it is. I can cut it with my fork. Oh, man. Wunderbar. Now, wifey right now is not giving them a steak. We we're fooling the dogs. They get these pepperoni jerky bites, and we put them on the plate and hand them out. They think they're getting food off the plate, and they love them. They like those jerky bites. The next thing are these two model Thunderbirds that were sent to me by our good subscriber up in Indiana, Gary. We all know him as Rebel 9668. Subsequent to the video that I did showing the cars and giving Gary the shout out. I think that was Thunderbird Part 28, if I'm not mistaken. Subsequent to that video, I was contacted by a guy by the name of Bill Mason in Canada. Now, Bill probably thinks I forgot him, but I didn't, okay? And he said, "I have a Thunderbird, a 1965 model." He said, "Would you be interested in selling the 1965, which is this white one that has the radio on the bottom?" He said, it's a promo car. He said, "Would you be interested in selling that thing to me? Because I have the 65. Well, you know, of course I can't do that. You know, I mean, I'm not going to take something from Gary and then turn around and sell it to make money to Bill or anyone else, okay? It's just not, my mind doesn't work like that, okay? Now, if I was starving and I needed a loaf of bread for the kids or something, yeah, I'd do it. Then I'd tell Gary what I did. I wouldn't keep it a secret. But anyway, you know, that really intrigued me, that offer, and I said, I wonder what these things are selling for on eBay. Maybe I should just tell Bill, go to eBay and pick one up. You got all different colors, all different, you know, shapes, not shapes, but conditions, and all different prices. So I went to eBay and I looked around. The 1965, I saw prices on this car right here from $9 up to, I think, $175. That's right, Gary. up to 175 bucks. Now, of course, it was in much better condition than this one. This one, the radio does not work. And there's a crack up here on the roof, a little bit of a crack right there, but that's not a big deal. And so then I got looking at the 66. Now the 66, the prices are all over also, but not quite as high as the 65. The average price on this somewhere between 40 and 50 bucks. And there's lower and higher, but the 66, 40 to 50 bucks. So my recommendation to Bill up in Canada is, by the time you receive this through the mail with shipping, and because I would just send it to you, you would pay for shipping if I were to send it. So I'm not sure you'd probably do better by buying one right off of eBay, the kind you want, the color and all that sort of thing. But it's certainly going nowhere without Gary's permission. So contact me, Gary. Let me know what you think. You know, should I? And Bill, let me know if you still want it. Gary, what do you think? Should I? If he still wants it, is it okay? Do I send it to him, or how do you want me to deal with that? You want me to keep it? I have no problem. You know, if you say no, go ahead and keep it. Fine. You know, nobody's out anything except for you, Gary. You paid money for it. But I just want you to know that these 65s rather, are being offered on eBay up to 100. I think it's like $179 actually is what it is. It might be 175, but I mean I wouldn't pay $175 for one of these. They are kind of neat though. If I could just get the hubcaps off of this thing, it'd be really nice. I could use one more hubcap. All right, let's move on to the next item. Our last item involves this dash pot from this carburetor that will eventually be going on the Thunderbird that we're repairing, or refurbishing. For those of you who follow my videos, you know that we're refurbishing a 1966 Thunderbird. That's another series that's ongoing. When I took this carburetor was missing several parts. But I knew it when I bought it. I figured I could scrounge them up here and there on the eBay and all. And we have, you know. And Brendan helped out a great deal. He's my electronics mentor and the mentor about a lot of other things. I'm bringing him along nicely. He's doing very well. This is one less part we have to find, but when he sent it to me, he found it at a flea market, if you all remember. When he sent it to me, it was painted blue. Not the front part, but this entire... the bracket that holds it to the carburetor and the rear of the dash pot was all painted Ford blue. And our good subscriber Scott Johnston, he said, you know, I told him I was going to de-rust it. We already did. We got it all de-rusted, rusted best we could, made it look really good. Without, you got to be careful. You know, these are so hard to find. I don't want to overly do it and screw them up. I've since, after I de-rusted it, I've since clear coated it to keep it from rusting even more. And I said I would do that, but our good subscriber Scott Johnston, he said what you need to do is paint that thing the original blue. Well, I wasn't going to buy a great big giant can of paint just to paint this little thing original blue. And I told him that. I said, you know, it's too expensive. I'd rather use the money for something else. Well, one of our other good subscribers, Ron C., he eavesdropped in on that comment of Scott Johnston and my reply. And of course he puts himself into gear and he buys this can of Rust-Oleum blue engine paint, which is very, very close to the Ford blue. And you know, I can't hardly tell much difference really. And he sent it to me. He said, now you can go ahead and paint your dash pot. So I don't know what I'm going to do with old Ron C. Ron C from Florida. We all know him. He's got a, for those of you who don't know, he has a channel. And he repairs old radios and things. He does an excellent job. He's really come a long ways in the last couple of years. He really, really has. Does a great job. He's a guitar player, makes amplifiers and all that sort of thing. You'll like it. For those of you who have never heard of Ron C, just look him up. Ron C. Two different. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and paint this thing, and I'll show it to you when the time comes. This can's just going to sit over here with the rest of them I got laying here. I have them on the counter to keep them fairly warm. I don't want them to be out there in the freezing cold. Freezing cold, you know. Freezing cold by my standards, okay? And we'll get it all back on here. I've got other parts coming in. and a couple of parts have already come in. I bought an old junk carburetor the other day to get a couple of parts off of it. Matter of fact, here's one of them right here. It's the pull down piston that goes inside under the thermostat cover in the choke area. I'll explain to everybody what that is. This was kind of neat. It was stuck. I had to get it out. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and paint this. The blue with Ron's paint. So you all know what that means also. Another shout out, this time for our good subscriber down in Florida, Ron C. One more thing before we close out. You'll notice that the radio that was on the bench that I've been working on along with the Thunderbird, you know, I'd inject a little bit of radio work in there too. Well, it's now off the bench because it's repaired. It's a 1942 Zenith Model 7S 633, for those of you who may not have been watching the videos. But it's all repaired, and you will see it in the next Thunderbird video as soon as the weather warms up. So until next time, this is John.